In 1991, you moved to America. And whilst there, you took part in various things. There were all sorts of enjoyments to be had. Food, fun, and in your case, fraud. Am I right?
Yes.
You were convicted in what year, please, sir?
2004.
It was what some people describe as a boiler room fraud, correct?
Correct.
What it is, in effect, is where people, sometimes, but not always, sell to the wealthy. Very often they sell to the vulnerable. And they sell pretend stocks. And they say, I've got the best stock in the world. It's a medical stock, right? A share in Rinder Enterprises. And they've just come up with this marvellous drug, hitherto unknown, scientifically approved, and you take it and it stops people from being morons for the rest of their lives. It's going to be a bonanza. And everybody goes, gosh, that's going to go through the roof. Currently, Rinder stock is worth 20p. As soon as the anti-moron drug comes onto the market, it's going to be a bonanza and the stock will go wild. And you'll be a millionaire this time next year. Only the Judge Rinder stock doesn't actually exist. In other words, it's a straightforward scam. That's what you were doing, correct?
Correct.
How much money at the height of this scam and fraud did you make?
117 million.
So a small amount. Here's the thing. You served your time. 5 years in jail, you land back here flat broke. Sir, let me ask you, at the height of your scam, what was your lifestyle like?
It definitely was like living a movie every day.
Well, give me a sense of it.
It was fast cars, fast women, fast lifestyle, as fast as I could spend the money.
You got back. To what extent had your attitude to life changed?
I had definitely learned from my experience of American prison. I certainly didn't want to relive that life ever again.
Nelson, just let me ask you this. You must have thought that to some extent she would be entitled to some money for her job, for her work as a model.
Very true.
Right. Well, how much did you think she should be entitled for the session? How much have you ever paid other models for a session of photography?
The highest I've paid is 500.
At the time, there was a vague discussion about money. Did you ever mention the figure?
In her case, because of...
In respect of these pictures only?
Yes. In respect of these pictures, because of her look, I said between 800 and 1,500.
Do you accept that?
Yes, that was what we
Agreed.
discussed.
So why haven't you paid to, let's say, take the lower figure? Why haven't you paid to the £800?
Because I did not directly make money from selling her photos.
Doesn't matter. You take on the liability. You understand that. You're a smart gentleman.
Usually we say this so that the models would come. And when we take the photos...
Excuse me, what? Let's just pause. Let me just try and understand what you're saying. In other words, I need a moment. In other words, what you do is you say, come, models. It's called a unilateral contract. Come, models. If you come and I take your photograph, you'll get paid between £800 and £1,000. Now you tell me, we don't really mean it. Of course we don't mean it. We just say that so that they'll show up. Is that what you're saying? I need a moment to get a clear piece of paper in my pad to write it down in big, if you are.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
I make promises.
And that this third party, as far as I can gather, has conducted some research about the photographs. What has she uncovered, madam?
That they were another professional photographer's work.
A photographer calling herself Cheryl is offering all-day photography, I inquired, as it looked too good to be true. She inboxed me photos, and when I did a reverse image search, they're from another photographer's website. Madam, can you please hand these photographs to Cheryl? There are, as far as I can gather, let's look, 3 times 4. There are 12 images on this 12 images on this phone. Have a look. How many of them are yours, madam? Bearing in mind I can go and check.
None, Judge.
Why did you do that?
Don't know, Judge.
Why did you use another photographer's work?
Made a mistake, Judge.
No, you didn't. I'll ask you a third time. Why did you use another photographer's work, madam?
To get a job, Judge.
You regret doing that?
Yes, Judge.
In preparation for this case, I invited my clerk to go through the relevant accounts, looking exclusively at transfers that took place from your account to Rachel's. The total sum that's been taken from your account into hers is £7,734. That the first time you've heard that, sir?
Yes.
What does that money mean to you?
Well, quite a lot.
What does it do to you to hear that?
Shocked.
£7,734.
It's a shock to me too.
Perhaps you'd like a chair to sit on. Stuart, this is a very important question. Did there come a time, after you discovered that this money had gone, where you specifically said to Rachel she must no longer go online and use your bank account?
I did tell her you'd have to stop.
What date roughly was that, sir?
About 6 months ago.
Remember that? Do you remember that?
No. And to be fair, he didn't stop me doing it. So I carried on.
What do you make of Stuart? What do you think of him?
Not a lot.
How would you describe him?
Pushover. Like a puppet on a string, I guess.
You withdrew your consent in June 2018.
Yes.
That's around the time, it's a couple of months before you were forced to move back home with Mum.
Yep.
When your bank account had been completely depleted. I assume, therefore, once you were living at home, that you wouldn't have heard anything further from Rachel, correct?
Correct.
Can't be true. 2 weeks ago, having looked at your bank account, I have seen a further transfer, sir. Do you know how much that was for?
About £800 over 2 weeks.
£800. Did you give permission for her to use that money?
No, she asked me if she could pay I could pay a phone bill for her. I said yes, but then money disappeared. She said it from the phone company.
Since the time that you said she could no longer go online and had no permission whatsoever, do you know the total sum that she has taken?
About £1,000, I expect.
£2,968. Pushover, you entitled to this money?
Don't know what to say to that, really.
Have a go.
Well, I just keep going back to the same thing. I mean, what would you do if somebody had given you your bank details and you take your money out and they send you a text saying, "Where's my money?" with a kiss on the end? Wouldn't you carry on?
Madam, you are a disgrace.
It's like a gift in a way.
Did you just come into my courtroom and suggest to me that abusing the trust of this gentleman was a gift? Did you just suggest to me that dishonesty is an appropriate way to behave? Did you just come into my court and tell me that that sort of misappropriation, theft or fraud is okay? Did you? Did you?
But he didn't stop.
Did you?
He didn't stop me.
Did you do that? Get out. Get her out. Out. Leave. In thousands of cases I have done, I have never met a more brazen, a more unpleasant, a more dishonest, a more foul defendant than I have seen in this court. And I am sorry to you, sir, because you've been abused. And you know what? You're not the only person affected by this. Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.